came from a banking background, so I was at Wells Fargo for about 14 years, and so really have a good understanding of just the banking ecosystem and obviously the payments ecosystem as well. But there's some things that you want to consider when you're just choosing any provider, whether it's online, even in a brick and mortar location. But I'm going to make this more catered for non-U.S. citizens. You want to find one where it's very easy to open accounts online, right? You don't want to have to go physically into an office or fly to the US to go to a physical location in order to have an account and operate within the US. You want to make sure, obviously, it's friendly to US citizens, non US citizens, and maybe there's language preferences that you can update or change to make it more customizable to you being a international entrepreneur. Some require opening deposits, some don't, or some have fees and some don't, right? So there's a lot of banks that will allow you just to open and maintain a balance, and they'll waive the fee if you have a certain balance requirement or you hit a threshold. And then there's some that just don't care. So those are banks that are a little bit more attractive, but maybe their returns on the investments that you put into savings aren't as high. So there's a give take there. Online support, you want to make sure that you have good online support. Obviously, if you're selling online, you operate entirely online. You want to have the ability to not only have chat, email, but phone is great, right? Transaction fees, as I mentioned, there are some fees for money transfers, whether it's foreign exchange or ACH, or if you're doing like international wire, or if there's minimum deposit balances, there may be fees for these different things. You want to compare, contrast, see what's out there. Currency conversion. So some of them have, very good rates depending on their liquidity provider. So you want to make sure that the currency conversion rates are competitive, or you can use a separate provider. If it's not through the bank, you may want to use a separate provider for foreign exchange. Customer service, we hit on that. You want to make sure that the support is good if you do have questions or things come up. You want to be able to get the answer pretty quickly. Also working with online store platforms. So if you're selling on Shopify or WooCommerce, Adobe Commerce, or if you have a custom integration, you want to make sure it just speaks seamlessly to your system and moves the data back and forth. And whether that's to your accounting ERP system, I use a couple different ERP systems or accounting systems for my business here at Competence, and then also for my business that I have here in the US that's more of a domestic business. And then again, any setup maintenance fees, we hit on that a couple times now, and then making sure that the security is sound. So making sure that you understand who the bank is behind the scenes. A lot of times it may be white labeled, quote unquote, as a bank, but then there's multiple banks behind the scenes that are supporting the neobank or the online bank.